guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ryan Moon ASMR. This is going to be a part 2 of just looking through my horror franchise and just horror Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm just going to start right off, and by the way, by the time this video comes out, I'll have 10,000 views on my channel. I haven't even been on here for a full year and I have 10,000 views, so thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking my videos. I just appreciate it so much. So first we're going to start off with American Horror Story. I only have 5 seasons, but I've seen every season. I know a lot of people stopped liking it after the first 2 or 3, but I've been a diehard ever since it started. The spin-off on Hulu, the first season was really bad. I'm actually liking the second season a lot better. A lot of people think that American Horror Stories is still the actual show, but it's not. Asylum is probably my favorite season. Then we have Coven, which is a lot of people's favorites. I definitely miss when Jessica Lange was on. She's a Goddess. Freak Show. A lot of people are divided on this one as well. A lot of people think Pt.2 was the most terrifying, but I think Dandy was one sick son of a bitch. And the last season that I actually own is Hotel, where Lady Gaga stepped in for Jessica Lange, which is like impossible to do, but that's what happened. And like I said, I already kind of did a video like this one. I'm gonna put that in the description. That's more like my Halloween, Friday the 13th franchises. So my next is gonna be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love this one. It's a steelbook. I can't remember where I got it, but I think it was like $25 or something. It has a lot of cool special features. I don't know if you can tell because it's kind of glary. Yeah, it's probably really hard to see, but that's good. It's kind of cool inside. And it actually has some artwork on the back. So, I'm a big fan of this one. I don't only have Blu-rays, I have a lot of DVDs as well. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which was actually directed by the same person who directed the first one. I think it was about 10 years later or something. This one is definitely more of like a dark comedy. The Next Generation, I actually kind of like. Besides the screaming Leatherface, like it's really grating, and the whole like Illuminati at the end, that was kind of weird. I was really, really apprehensive about seeing this in theaters, the remake. But I actually love this remake. It's one of the best remakes, horror remakes, I think. Yeah, it's got a lot of features. It's got like looks like a chainsaw. I don't know what happened to it, but there used to be like a lot of like crime scene footage, like pictures and stuff. Who knows where that went? Then we have the prequel to the remake, the beginning, the new beginning. A lot of people give shit to this one too, but I actually enjoy it. It was like one of the first times I saw Matt Bomer in anything. As you can tell, I like most horror movies, and Texas Chainsaw, I could probably stand in most of this, but the line at the end, if you know this movie, you know what line I'm talking about, just completely rips you out of the movie. It's the stupidest line I've ever heard. And there's a lot of dumb ones in horror movies. Alright, so next up we're gonna go into some Rob Zombie. House of a Thousand Corpses was his first feature film. It's a very, very good movie. I actually went to Halloween Universal Horror Nights, and I was one of the first people to go to the maze. Rob Zombie was there. Yeah, it was super fun. It was pretty scary and pretty accurate to the film. There that is. I need to get this on Blu-ray. And it's very seldom that a sequel is as good as or is better than the original. The Devil's Rejects is, in my opinion, a superior movie to the first one. As you can see, Ebert and Roper gave it 2 thumbs up. It's a fantastic movie. I need to get this on Blu-ray too. This is packed with special features as well. A lot of Rob Zombie movies have like really long documentaries on the making of the movies, so that's pretty cool. And so we had first one, second one, and then we have 3 from Hell, which is supposed to be the third in a trilogy, Firefly trilogy. I don't love this movie. I had higher expectations than I should have. It was kind of like the second one, they're on the run. A lot of fucks. In my opinion, Rob Zombie is a great director, but he's not such a great writer. I think he should have help writing his films. Then there's 31, which basically is about a group of young people, well, older people too, that got taken on Halloween, and they have to survive, I think, 12 hours without getting killed. And if they can make it till sunrise, they can leave. It was okay. This was, I believe, a book zombie movie, The Lords of Salem. It's very fever dreamy. It's kind of crazy. It's very different. I really like it. This one doesn't have many special features, but it has commentary by Rob. Alright, so we will go to the Hannibal Lecter series. Red Dragon, which is supposed to be the first one. Hannibal Rising is supposed to be the first one. Not a big fan of that one. But Red Dragon's pretty good. There's Edward Norton and Anthony Hopkins back as Hannibal Lecter. And then the one that started it in movie form anyway, Silence of the Lambs, with Jodie Foster, and one of the few horror movies that have Oscars, or was nominated for an Oscar, I can't remember which. And then Hannibal, where Julianne Moore took over as Clarice. And then on to the Blair Witch Project. When I was growing up, there was barely internet. Like, everybody thought that this was a true story. Obviously it's not, because they actually had the actors go on, like late night and promote the movie. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty scary for its time. I think they only spent like $30,000 making it, or 20 or 10, and it ended up making like hundreds of millions or something, but it's a good one. And then the second one, they went like a totally different route. This one's more like a documentary. Well, the first one's documentary style. This one is half documentary, half like actual movie. I still don't know why it's called Book of Shadows. No idea. There's this weird thing in the movie where if you put it in reverse, there's like clues and like a game you can play or something. I don't know. But there's that one has a CD and a DVD. And then there is just Blair Witch, which is the third one. They tried to do something not similar as far as advertising goes, but they didn't advertise it as a Blair Witch sequel. They advertised it as a totally different movie called The Woods. And people didn't know that it was a Blair Witch sequel until like right when they went into theaters. Like in California, I think, is where they started. And then everybody else knew that it was a Blair Witch sequel like a week or two before the movie actually hit. So there's those. Then I'm gonna go into Eli Roth, Hostel, which basically people call torture porn, like the torture porn era. Hostel's a good movie. Hostel Part 2 is another one that I think is actually better than the original. A lot of penises in this one, so if you like boobies and don't like BBs, stay away from this one. Then there's Hostel 3, which I think Eli Roth didn't direct, he just produced or something. The third one isn't as good, but it's decent. And another one by Eli Roth, which I believe Exorcist, which is a classic. People in the theaters in the 70s would actually faint and vomit when watching it, and a lot of people had to leave the theater. They're supposed to be remaking this soon. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's gonna suck, but I thought the Texas Chainsaw remake would suck too, and I like that one. Also, the Evil Dead remake, I actually enjoyed that one quite a lot too. And then I don't have the second one because it sucks shit, but this is The Exorcist 3. And a little known fact about this movie. Jeffrey Dahmer actually used to show this VHS to his victims before he killed them, which is pretty depressing, but it's kind of fucked up to watch this movie and think that this would be the last movie that a lot of those guys saw before they got murdered by him. And then I just have some just regular old horror movies, The Conjuring. I don't know what it is, but I can't watch anything paranormal by myself at night. Even if the movie's not that scary, I just can't do it. It freaks me out. I've had a couple ghost experiences in real life, so I believe in paranormal 100%, and I just get totally freaked out. Oh, and if you didn't notice, that's Tiffany and Chucky in the background. And Final Destination, I'm sure a lot of people know about this, and its various sequels. I don't know why I don't have the sequels. I kind of like the second one, and the third one. The one with the roller coaster. Now we have It. Fun fact, I live in Bangor, Maine, which is where Derry, Maine is supposed to be. If you look outside my apartment window, you can see the Paul Bunyan statue. Stephen King actually lives right down the street, and if you go there during Halloween, you'll see one floating red balloon in his window, and he has a couple of cool gargoyles that are in front of his house. He also owns the rock station in town. American Psycho. The book was actually written by Bret Easton Ellis, who I'm a huge fan of. The Rules of Attraction is one of my favorite movies. So, him, Paul Bateman, and Patrick Bateman are actually brothers in each of the movies, and they're mentioned in each of the movies, but they kind of live in their own books and films. Donnie Darko is one that some people love, some people just don't understand. I love it. Don't watch the sequel, it's horrible. It's this whole story with Jake Gyllenhaal's little sister from the first one. It's dumb. It should not have been made, in my opinion. Hocus Pocus, which is a fan favorite, but actually, fun fact, when it first came out, it did not do good in theaters at all. It only gained like a cult following much later, and I cannot wait for Hocus Pocus 2. I wish that it was in theaters, but unfortunately it's only going to be on Disney+. Jennifer's Body is another one that did not do well at first, but over the years it became a huge cult classic. I have a lot of copies in here. I guess I've bought this a few times. Jennifer's Body. Another movie that I really enjoy, but a lot of people don't, is The Witch. A24 for me is hit or miss, the studio. But The Witch is awesome. I'm pretty sure it's Anya Taylor-Joy's first movie. But if you haven't seen it, I would suggest it if you like New England folktales. I Know Who Killed Me with Lindsay Lohan. and Jeremy Renner did a really great job. Storm Warning, which is from Dimension Extreme. They had like a bunch of movies. It's kind of sick, but I like it. It has some of the best gore I've ever seen, so it's worth watching it just for that. And I think the last one I'm gonna do is Snowtown, or the Snowtown Murders. It's one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen in my life. If you can't handle disturbing movies, do not watch this. It is terrifying. It won a bunch of awards. It's really, really disturbing. It's based on a true story. It's very, very frightening. It's very real. It's about a serial killer, and that's all I'm gonna say about it, because it's freaking sick. Basically, he hides all these bodies in barrels with shit, what's it called? I'm totally drawing a blank. Acid. There's like, these are like the barrels in the back. He basically just starts killing people and gets his friends to start helping him. I just won't even bother. But yeah, if you want a really disturbing movie, somewhere it's called The Snowtown Murders, somewhere it's called Snowtown. But yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for 10,000 views, and thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.